Have you ever wondered what it's like to dive into the world of different professions while improving your English skills? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to MA English, your go-to channel for fun and engaging English learning. In today's video, we're taking you on a journey through two fascinating conversations where we ask people about their jobs. It's a great way to practice English in real-world situations, while also getting a glimpse into the lives of professionals from different fields. Now, I can't quite remember if this is the third or fourth time we've explored this topic, but who's counting? To make sure you don't miss out on any of the previous episodes, I've left links to those videos in the description below and in the cards above. Be sure to check them out after you finish watching this one. And of course, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump in and start learning. Can I ask you a few questions? I'm making a video about different professions.
Sure, why not?
Can you start by telling us your name and what you do for a living?
My name is Omar, and I'm a recruitment officer at a company.
A recruitment officer. That sounds interesting. What exactly does a recruitment officer do?
Well, basically, I'm the guy who helps companies find the right people for the right jobs. I sift through tons of resumes, interview candidates, and make sure we're bringing in talent that fits the company's needs.
That sounds like a big responsibility. Do you ever feel like a matchmaker? You know, trying to find the perfect pair?
You could say that. Except instead of love, I'm trying to match skills with job descriptions. And let me tell you, it's not always a perfect match. Sometimes, it's like trying to pair a shoe with a sandwich.
I can imagine. What's the most challenging part of your job?
The toughest part is probably managing expectations, both from the candidates and the company. Candidates might think they're perfect for a role, but the company might be looking for something else entirely. It's my job to find that balance and make both sides happy. It's like being a referee, but without the whistle.
That sounds tricky. Have you ever had a situation where you felt like you just couldn't find the right person for a job?
Oh, definitely. There are times when the perfect candidate just doesn't exist, or at least, they haven't applied yet. It can be frustrating, but that's when I have to get creative. Sometimes, it's about finding someone who's a great fit in other ways and then helping them grow into the role. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow.
That's a great analogy. So, what are some of the perks of being a recruitment officer?
Well, one of the best parts is seeing people succeed in the roles I've placed them in. Knowing that I had a hand in someone's career journey is really rewarding. Plus, I get to meet a lot of interesting people, everyone has a story, and I love hearing them.
That sounds fulfilling. But what about the downsides? Every job has them, right?
Oh, for sure. The biggest downside is probably the pressure. There's always a sense of urgency because every role that's unfilled is a gap in the company. And sometimes, no matter how hard I try, the process can drag on, which can be stressful for everyone involved. And don't even get me started on the rejections. I've had candidates call me in tears because they didn't get the job. That's never easy.
That sounds tough. How do you deal with those kinds of situations?
It's all about being empathetic and honest. I try to give constructive feedback whenever possible, so candidates know what they can work on for next time. It's never fun to deliver bad news, but I try to make it a learning experience for them. And, of course, I always keep looking for other opportunities where they might be a better fit.
That's a great approach. So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get into recruitment?
First off, you need to be patient, really patient. This job requires a lot of attention to detail and an understanding of people. You also need to be a good listener because sometimes what someone doesn't say is just as important as what they do say. And lastly, don't take rejections personally. It's part of the job, and you'll learn to navigate it with time.
That's fascinating. Omar, thanks so much for sharing your experience as a recruitment officer. I think a lot of people will find this really insightful.
My pleasure. I hope it helps someone out there.
I'm sure it will. And to our viewers, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to MA English for more great content like this. Hi there. Do you have a moment to chat?
Oh, sure. I'm not in a rush.
Fantastic. Thanks for stopping. Can you start by telling us your name and what you do for a living?
I'm Luna and I'm a hairdresser. I specialize in women's hair.
A hairdresser. That's a pretty creative job. What's it like to be a hairdresser?
Well, it's definitely a mix of art and therapy. I spend my days making people feel good about themselves, whether it's giving them a fresh new look or just a trim. But it's not just about the hair, it's also about making people feel confident and happy.
So, you're like an artist with scissors. Do you ever feel like you're painting on a human canvas?
Exactly. Every head of hair is different, so it's like a new project every time. You've got to figure out what style suits the person, what they want, and how to make it work with their hair type. Sometimes it's like solving a puzzle, but it's always fun.
That sounds amazing. What would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
The best part is definitely the reactions. When a client looks in the mirror and you see that smile, like they're seeing themselves in a new way, that's priceless. I've had clients hug me, cry happy tears, you name it. It's really special to know you've made someone's day better.
That must feel great. But what about the challenges? What's the toughest part of being a hairdresser?
Oh, there's definitely some tough stuff. For one, standing on your feet all day can be exhausting. And then there are the picky clients, the ones who aren't exactly sure what they want, but they know what they don't want. It's a balancing act between giving professional advice and making sure they leave happy.
I can imagine that's a bit tricky. Have you ever had a situation where a client didn't like the result?
Unfortunately, yes. It happens to everyone in this line of work sooner or later. I remember one time, I gave a client exactly what she asked for, but when she saw it, she wasn't thrilled. We ended up tweaking it a bit, and luckily, she left satisfied. But those moments can be stressful. It's like a mini heart attack every time.
I bet. So, what's one of the more unique or interesting requests you've gotten from a client?
Oh, I've had some wild ones. One time, a client wanted her hair dyed to match her parrot's feathers, bright green and blue. It was a challenge, but the result was actually pretty cool. She loved it, and I got a new story to tell.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What about the skills and requirements for the job? What does it take to be a successful hairdresser?
First and foremost, you've got to have patience, lots of it. You're dealing with different personalities all day, and some people can be, let's just say, particular. You also need a good eye for detail and a steady hand, especially when you're working with sharp tools near someone's face. And, of course, you've got to keep up with trends. Styles change, and you've got to be able to deliver what's hot right now.
Sounds like there's a lot more to it than just cutting hair. What's your favorite trend you've worked with recently?
I'm loving the return of vintage styles, finger waves, pin curls, all that classic Hollywood glamour. It's making a comeback, and it's so much fun to recreate those looks with a modern twist. Plus, clients love it because it's elegant and timeless.
That's awesome. So, what's the downside of the job, if there is one?
Well, like I said, the physical toll is real. My feet and back definitely feel it after a long day. And then there's the pressure to always be on your game. People expect you to be perfect every time. But I'd say the worst part is when someone comes in with unrealistic expectations. Sometimes, no matter how much you explain that a certain style won't work for them, they still insist, and it doesn't turn out like they imagined. That can be tough to navigate.
I can see how that would be difficult. What advice would you give to someone thinking about becoming a hairdresser?
If you're passionate about beauty and making people feel good, go for it. But be prepared to work hard. It's not just about playing with hair, it's about building relationships, understanding people's needs, and constantly improving your skills. And never stop learning. The beauty industry is always evolving, so you have to stay updated.
Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. I think a lot of people will have a new appreciation for hairdressers after this.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
And to all our viewers, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to MA English for more engaging conversations like this one. Thanks for watching.